Hi, and welcome to Always Eclectic Stacy. This is 5-minute chemistry where you learn chemistry concepts and or see examples in 5 minutes or less. We're still in our ionic compound series, and today we're taking a balanced compound and naming it. We're working with SnCrO4, 2. Let's get balancing. Hi, welcome to Always Eclectic Stacy. Today we're taking a balanced compound and we're going to convert it into its proper name. And as always, the first step is to determine whether it is an ionic compound or a covalent compound. And remember, the difference is that with an ionic compound, it is a metal plus a nonmetal, whereas with a covalent compound, it is two nonmetals. So we can always check that by looking at the first element, or if it's a polyatomic like ammonium, you automatically know that it's going to be a covalent compound. So we're going to look at this first element here, Sn. And Sn is a metal, and it is one of those metals that actually acts like a transition metal. So we're going to have to do some work to get the charge. And we can look at that second compound or element, and that's CrO4. And this is one of our polyatomics. And usually when you see a polyatomic, it should ring some alarm bells for you that it is going to be an ionic compound. Now, what we do first is we just name what we can. So Sn is tin, so we can just go ahead and name that. Because that first element, it's always going to be just the element name. And then for your transition metals, or those elements like lead and tin that do act like transition metals, you do have to put the charge in Roman numerals in the parentheses next to them. And then you can just go ahead and name the polyatomic or anion. CrO4 is chromate. And if you're a little rusty on that, please go ahead and check out our polyatomic video that will walk you through all the naming. And if you're a little rusty on how to name your common metallic metals, you can go ahead and check that out as well. There's a video for that as well. So we're going to look at this as two different ways of doing it. I'm going to show you both the equation method and the reverse LCM method. Either way that you use is great. You're just going to have to pick which way works best for your brain and really learn it. You really don't need to learn both. The equation method will lead into some of the other topics that we're going to talk about, like balancing equations, and it's a great starter way of looking at things as an equation. But if that's a little too difficult for you right now in this part of your chemistry career, go ahead and do the reverse LCM. There's no harm in doing either one. So for the equation method, you're going to take your Sn, and we're going to just go like that. And we're going to go ahead and add it to chromate. Now remember, the chromate is CrO4. And you can see it's right there in the parentheses. So everything in the parentheses is one thing. And we always base our work for determining the charge of a transition metal on the anion or the polyatomic anion. And the charge for CrO4 is actually 2 minus. And then we're going to, I don't know why I put it plus, I'm sorry, 2 minus. And we're going to do our arrow saying these two things added together make your Sn CrO4 2. Now remember, this 2 here says there's 2 of these. These become your coefficient over here. Coefficient is a number in front to balance something. So we have 2 of these. So, and we have 1 of them, so there's no coefficient. So now you have to do that thought process. We have 2 of these, 1 of these, which means this number here has to be this coefficient multiplied by this superscript. So 2 times 2 is 4 plus. So this tin has a 4 plus charge. That's how you should think about it. If that's a little tricky for you, I then say go ahead and do that reverse LCN or LCM. So you have, remember you put your elements out here, so you have tin and chromate, and you put the whole thing, CrO4. Now what you do is we're going to really focus right now on the negative anion or your polyatomic or your oxyanion, because those charges never change. They're static. And so our charge number for CrO4 is 2. So we're going to put the charge number first. Remember, we don't care whether it's a positive or a negative for the LCM. You just use the charge number. And then you're going to go ahead and set up your LCM. So we have 2, and we have 2 of them. We have 2 total. You can look here or look here, depending on which method you're doing. So 2 times 2 gives me an LCM of 4. Now you pull this 4 up here, and we have 1 tin. There's no subscript. There's written 1 time, so there's 1 tin. So you put 1 here for your subscript or the amount you have, and then you complete this equation to get the charge of 10. So it's something times 1 equals 4, and that is 4. So between this and that, we can prove that our charge number of 10 is 4. So you put IV, which is a 4 in Roman numerals, out front, and you have balanced tin-4 chromate. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please do not forget to like and subscribe and check out some of our other content. Have a great day.